Hey everyone, this is going to be a speed test comparison and review between the Sony Xperia Performance and the HTC U Ultra. So of course the Sony is a bit older at this point, came out around 10 months ago. The U Ultra by comparison, brand new, just came out this week. And just because of that you do have better internal specs on the U Ultra, you have the Snapdragon 21 and 40 bytes of RAM. On the Sony, Snapdragon 20 and 3 bytes of RAM. Now Sony did follow up the X Performance with the XE, and I do have a speed test comparison on my channel if you want to check that out. But for now, of course, looking at the X Performance. Now the X Performance is a lot cheaper. You can get it for around $400. That's about $100 cheaper than the Sony Xperia XZ, and a few $100 cheaper than the HTC Ultra, which is going for around $750. So you see here, U Ultra first one to boot up. Now Sony's up as well. Alright guys, so let's just make sure everything's closed out, and then we'll start. First up, we got Temple Run 2. So you should see the HTC winning this. Of course, you have that advantage of the Snapdragon 21. The XZ did pretty well against the U Ultra. Kind of a split test. But you see so far here, the HTC getting off to a very fast start. Alright, let's check out some more. Alright, next up, we got photos. Alright, so that was faster on the Sony. iFunny. Looked a little bit faster on HTC, YouTube. Faster there on the Sony. Next up, calculator. Faster on HTC, Clock. eBay. Looked a little bit faster on the Sony. Asphalt 8. So far I think X Performance is doing pretty well here. Winning, I guess, close to half the apps. This one again should be HTC, and it is. So yeah guys, in terms of game performance, definitely will be better on HTC. Alright, next up, we got ESPN. And this app, oftentimes very slow loading. Alright, so HTC there. Let's do settings. HTC. Alright, we're gonna go to, we'll get to Chrome in a minute, let's just look at Antutu. So yeah, both these phones run Android 7 Nougat. Now, not a huge difference in scores, so with the X Performance around 143,000, HTC U Ultra around 153. With HTC U Ultra, this is one of the highest on Android. I know the OnePlus 3T is higher, but aside from that, I think it may be number 2, or at least close to that. Let's do Chrome next. Alright, I think this is going to load a video right here at the bottom. Let's give it a second. Or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Let's just go to a few sites. Go to IGN. Very close there. Maybe a little faster on the Sony. Let's do Nintendo. Again, very, very close. That looked a little bit faster on HTC. Let's do CNN. HTC there, Fox News. And again, HTC here. We'll do one final one. Let's do Villanova because I'm watching that basketball game right now. All right, villanova.edu. All right, so overall here faster on HTC. So in general, HTC looked like one there for web browsing. We're going to do multitasking in a minute. HTC excellent with that. But before that, let's do camera speed. Alright, so the Sony resolution is 23 megapixels. On the U Ultra, it's 12. Alright, so HTC looks like fast for taking pictures. Now, I will say that HTC has an excellent camera. In terms of videos, I actually prefer to Sony, but in terms of pictures, I prefer to HTC. So, you know, depending on which of those you prefer. All right, let's do fingerprint scanner. So on the Sony Xperia Performance, fingerprint scanner located here on the side. On U Ultra located right here. And it's just going to be tested at speed. Now guys, personally, I probably have to reconfigure the X Performance. Well, alright, it's working a little bit better now. Personally, in terms of both speed and accuracy, I think that the U Ultra is a little bit better. Also like to play some more, but the X Performance is still a solid fingerprint scanner. Definitely prefer the X Performance to phones like the LG and the Pixel where they put on the back. But still, X Performance, room for improvement. Now they did improve it with the Sony Xperia XZ. But as you guys see, HTC Ultra more accurate and also faster. Alright, so let's just take a look at the design of phones and then we're going to look at some multitasking. So with the Sony Xperia Performance, you have a metal build, a brushed aluminum look, beautiful design here. On the bottom, you have micro USB. And on the U Ultra, a little bit more premium here, you have glass. And on the bottom, you have USB-C, so a little bit newer technology there. Now guys, one thing the U Ultra is missing, does not have a headphone jack. On the Sony you do. And let's just go over more specs before we finish with multitasking. And I'll also just give some of my thoughts on them. So in terms of screen size, you guys can tell U Ultra a little bit larger, 5.7 inches versus 5.0. Also high resolution, 513 pixels per inch versus 441. Rear facing, 23 megapixels versus 12. I prefer the HTC phone for taking pictures, Sony for recording video. Front facing on both very good, 13 megapixels on the Sony, 16 on the U Ultra. Internal storage, 32 or 64 gigabytes on the Sony, 64 128 on the U Ultra. Battery on both, a little bit suspect in my opinion. Could definitely be better for both. Sony 2700 capacity, U Ultra 3000. I think the battery on both may be a little bit below flagship Android phones. Again, you got the Snapdragon 820, 3 GB of RAM on the Sony, Snapdragon 821 and 4 on the HTC. Now Sony does have waterproofing, the HTC does not. Mentioned micro USB on Sony, USB-C on U Ultra, and again no headphone jack on U Ultra. And one last thing on U Ultra, you do have that second screen at the top. So I mean, it's pretty useful. Like if you're watching something, get a notification up here. Quick settings as well. Let me just actually unlock it so you guys see more of it. Press play for music. So a lot of things you can do with that. Alright, let's get to multitasking. Alright guys, so here's my thoughts on both phones in terms of buying them. Alright, yeah, the HTC Ultra is going to be much better at multitasking. This is the best phone in the market for multitasking. X performance a little bit suspect, as you see here, restarting. In terms of Sony, if you're a big Sony fan, I would not recommend the X performance. The XE is a much better phone. They made a lot of improvements. On the XE, you can rear-facing cameras improved. You can record in 4K mode. You have USB-C at the bottom, better design. Just a lot of improvements overall with that phone. Now, not to say the X performance is a bad phone. It's just I would say for $100 extra, I think the XE is better. Also a lot faster. Now the HTC Ultra, this is an excellent phone, but I don't think for the price it's an excellent phone. So for $750, I would not recommend it. Now, if you are a big HTC fan, then sure, go for it. But for the casual person, for everyday buyers, I would not recommend the phone at $750. Check out some more multitasking. And actually, if you are a big Sony fan, I would just say wait for the so again, Ultra there. I would say wait for the Sony Xperia XZ Premium, which sounds pretty incredible. That phone, the Snapdragon 835 and 4 gigabytes of RAM. Also an amazing camera, 960 frames per second, slow motion. So yeah, I mean, HTC winning all these in multitasking. Another game here. And once again, you see X performance, you're voting it. Aside from general performance on the X performance, I just don't think it's as smooth as a lot of the other Android phones. A little bit more prone to glitches. Sony really fixed that in the XZ. So yeah, I would definitely say if you can get the XZ, get that instead. Let's see, let's just do one or two more. Now, if you can find the X performance for a good price, if you can get it for around $300, $350, then I would recommend it. Alright guys, so hope you enjoyed watching the video. So again, in terms of both these phones, if you can get them for a very good price, if you can get the Sony Xperia X performance for around $300, maybe a little bit more than that. If you can get the HTC Ultra for, well, at this point you're not going to be able to get it for much less than $750 since it's brand new. But if you're watching this a few months from now, if you can get it for around $500, I think it's worth it at that price. And I do have a lot more speed test comparisons on my channel for both these phones against other phones, like the iPhone 7, Galaxy S7 Edge, and I do have a lot more planned for the future. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Please subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions.